Hello and welcome to QuickBook to Fusion migration. In today's webinar, we will in the day 5, that is go no go meeting towards data migration from QuickBook to Oracle Fusion. So let's go to the next slide. That is UAT with go and no go meeting. User acceptance test, that is UAT, is a vital phase in a system migration project, especially when the migration from QuickBook to Oracle Fusion. This phase involves end user and business stakeholder testing the new system against the business requirements. UAT testing can be performed in a conference or war room setup where user, project manager, and quality assurance, that is QA team representatives all sit together for a day or two and work through all the acceptance test cases. Alternatively, the QA team can test the system by running the test cases on the UAT environment or say test pod. Once the UAT is complete, the results are evaluated and acceptance decision is made, also known as go no go decision. If the user are satisfied, it is go, otherwise it is no go. A go no go meeting is typically held after UAT, where the stakeholders decide whether the system is ready to go live or if there is a significant issues that need to be addressed before launch. Go and no go meeting is a critical milestone in the project which determines whether the system is ready for production release or not. To achieve the desired result, the project requires must be finalized and any relevant documentation referred to depending upon the stage gates in your repetitively delivery process. The schedule baseline may have been remained once or twice. The meeting bring together all interested parties and collectively they make decision on whether to proceed with the project or not. To ensure everything is documented and any identify risk and action taken to mitigate them are recorded. The project is deemed ready to go live once everything agreed that is acceptable and in the best interest of all stakeholders. This marks the completion of the go no go meeting. The go no go meeting aims to identify any potential risk that may act as a roadblock to project progress. Despite the team's best efforts, the meeting provides an opportunity for stakeholders to review the project progress, discuss any issue that have arisen, and make final decision on whether to proceed with launch or not. The decision and decision making process are documented to ensure that everything is transparent and everyone is on same page. Testing to a production release, for what we have been working on the production readiness review, that is PRR is an important piece of this puzzle, as well as the requirement finalization, the blueprint, or any other relevant documents used to figure out the schedule baseline may have been made once or twice depending upon the stage gate in your repetitively delivery process. Ultimately, the go no go meeting brings together all the interested parties. They collectively make the decision on whether to proceed with the project or not. From there, the project is ready to go live once they have agreed that it is acceptable in the best interest of all stakeholders. This marks the completion of go no go meeting, which is vital step towards the successful launch of new system. The meeting ensures that all risks are mitigated and everyone on the same line, making launch process smoother and more efficient. Now let us navigate to the application with one of the UAT scenario. So let's navigate. So we are now in the application. So first we will navigate to payables work area and create one invoice. So all the basic setups has been completed, and we will go with the one of the test scenarios, right? So from the navigator or through the springboard, let's go with the navigator. So this is the payables, and there's the payable related rules has been provided, and so as the data access also. So let's create invoice through the invoice workbench. From the task panel, create invoice. So this is my business unit, and let's select a one supplier, name as KMG Inc. KMG Inc. Material computer repair, right? Computer repairing. So as the date, that is today's date, and the payment terms, right? So that payment terms as defined out there, that is immediate one, right? So that is coming, and you can override the payment terms, right? So that kind of a overriding setups has been done to enable that user to override the payment term also, and that payment date defined on the date, right? So that is immediate one. So go to the line. So that is a $1,000. Either you provide a distribution set or distribution combination. Let's select a distribution combination. Let's select that account code as computer. So this is the computer supplier. Select that and say OK, right? And let's calculate the tax. Let's calculate the tax. Out here you see the tax has been not been calculated, right? So one of the user has point out, that is in the UAT scenario, that tax is not been calculated, so there is some error, right? So that is kind of a error you will face while doing the UAT and when the conference room piloting is going on. So these kind of errors do come, right? So that is one of the scenario that I want to demonstrate, right? So how to rectify this, we will go with that. Then say cancel this. So go to the navigator. From here go to the supplier, right? Go to the supplier. From manage supplier, from the task panel we will select manage supplier, that is KMG INC. Edit that. So go to the, let's go to the address out here, edit that. So you got something out here that allowed tax applicability, right? Check that and save and close, right? Save and close, submit that. Okay, done. So let's go to the, again go to the payables work area and create one transaction, right? Create one transaction with the KMG INC, right? From here, from the task panel, create invoice. So create invoice, that is supplier is, again we will select as KMG INC, right? Select that. Let's say KMG 1234, right? And provide the amount 1000. So that is computer repairing. Computer repairing, and the term is, date is this, right? So that is the immediate one, the payment terms, and the date, term date. Let's go to the line, out here. Let's select 1000 and select the distribution combination again. So computer supply, say OK. Let's calculate the tax. So it's giving already invoices already existed, right? So let's cancel that. Okay, cancel that. Go to the manage invoices. Let's search with the KMG INC. Select that, say OK, and the invoice date is today's date, right? And select the invoice number KMG 1234. Search with that. Here we are. Select that and edit that. So out here you can see there is no tax. So go to the action, calculate tax. Still it is not calculated. Cancel that. Let's navigate to again to the supplier. Go to the supplier out here, Let's again pull the supplier name with a KMG INC. Go to the profile out here, allow tax, and go to the address out here, select that, allowed, yes, it has been enabled, right? And this is the tax detail, right? So country, other classification details it will calculate. Let's save this, save and close. Go to the profile again, recheck that and submit that. Your change has been submitted. Let's again navigate to the payables. Go to the payables, invoices. Let us create one more invoice. Let us say KMG, let's say KMG 11 and provide the amount as 1000. Say computer, go to the lines, that is 1000, and select the distribution combination. Say that, so computer supply, select that, and let's calculate tax, continue. It's still not calculated, there is some issue out here. It should ideally will calculate out here the tax, right? So that tax should be calculated, right? So let me recalculate again. Yeah, it has been calculated now. Yeah, see this, it has been calculated now. So 90, so it takes effect somewhat time. So 90 has been calculated, right? So you can see out here the tax, ideally it should work, right? So that is the tax of 6% and 2.5%, right? That is state and county tax are there, so that has been calculated, right? So that is the, and these kind of issues do come up in the UAT, right? So that kind of errors, issues, these are the things are come up during the UAT, right? So that kind of a one small scenario I am saying, there is in every module you got some issues out there. So sometimes you got not able to enable the all the payment terms, right? So that payment terms are not coming, right? That kind of issues are there, the user not able to find that one. Or say you have set up the term date as receiving date, right? So that kind of a in the invoice option you had done so, right? So that kind of a thing. And if you go to show more out here, so you can see the liability out here, right? So that kind of a details, the accounting date, right? So that taxation, go to the taxation, the country is tax, if the country is not selected, so taxation is not coming. These are the issues you face, right? So that kind of a reports, various scenarios are there. So one of the small scenario I am providing, right? So that kind of a detailing you have, right? So that various scenarios are there, that kind of issues you can face. Or you can go to the manage installments out here, If you go to the manage installments, the pay group is not coming, right? So that configurations error might be there, that pay group has not been provided out there in the party site, right? So that in the site level you had not provided, that's why it is not coming, right? So that pay group you want, what specific pay group, that specific pay group is not coming, but whatever the default you provided, that is coming. You want a specific one, that is not coming, right? So that kind of a error might be there. So that, so these are the some of the scenarios I am talking about. So this is related to UAT issues, right? So that sometimes the so these are the terms, date, various types of errors might be facing, right? So that kind of thing. And let's save this. Let's save this. Let's validate that. Let's validate that. So that needs revalidation. If you go out here, so you can see this is a line variance, right? So that is line variance. If you go out here, so there is, that is 1090, right? So 1090, let's provide the num out here 1090, and now validate that. Let's go out to the system hold, duplicate invoice, verified that, and system, the total invoice does not match with the, validate that. You can't validate that, right? So let me check it out again. That is, why this some error is happening. Let me check it out. So you can see this, it is validated. Let me revalidate that again. So you can see this has been validated now, right? So you can see the validation out here. So line variance, if I go to the system hold, let's go to the system hold, manage holds. So the line variance, total number of lines does not equals to, that is the hold, and system has variance corrected, right? So variance, the system hold you can't correct it down, you have to correct it. The line should match with your header, line level should match with your header one, right? So that is the thing. So that kind of a error do come, and that kind of a error should be rectified. That kind of a UAT we will do with the business user, right? So that kind of a testing we do. So that is a one of the scenario, right? So that is a one kind of a scenario. So let's save and close. Let's go and select that and give the name as KMG KMG 111. Select the date is today's date, search with that. So this is the invoice, and if I go post to ledger, let's account in the draft, let's do accounting in the draft. So view accounting, so view accounting, you can see the item expenses get debited, non-recoverable tax, that is 180. And if you go out here, you can see the details, line details. right? So that kind of a detailing, right? So that is a liability, 90 rupees liability, and so as the non-recoverable tax, right? So that is the, and all in the draft mode. You can view in the T account also and analyze the journal entry also, right? So that, let's view the T account. So you can view in the T account also, that is your computer supply and the accounts payable, right? So that is in the T account version. Analyze the journal entry. So this is on the draft mode. So you can see the journal entry out here. So this is your sub ledger, right? So this is your sub ledger. So you can see the sub ledger accounting rules is coming, right? Debit credit rules are there. Your sub ledger accounting engine. You can view the attributes. If you have any formula, you can view that. And the accounting attributes, go to the accounting rules and details, right? So that details are there, that attributes, right? So that you can see that distribution link is sources AP underscore INB distribution, DIST, right? Distribution. Go to the advanced option out here. So you can see the balance type is actual, rounding class is item expenses, subledger gain and loss no, link to journal lines none, right? So these are the advanced options. Go to the conditions. So this is the condition, it is expression, it has been written, the distribution, right? So that is expression out here, it is written so as the rule, right? So that is the rule. So you can see the number in the invoice number and the transaction and the distribution combination to that, right? So that is about the journal, analysis of the journal, right? So that is analysis of the journal. So this is lying in your sub ledger, it is not moved to your GL, it is still lying in your journal sub ledger. So if you post to this ledger, it will move to your GL as soon as you create accounting or say post to ledger, right? It will create accounting, or you can, this is online method, or you can do a offline method also, right? So that is from here, from the task panel under the accounting you can create accounting, right? So that kind of a activity. So let's go and create accounting. Let's create accounting out here. Select your payables, select the ledger, that is US primary ledger, say US primary ledger. The process I am selecting as an invoice only, and the account is final, event all, report I am selecting detailed, right? And any batch number specific you want to create, or say batch ID, let's submit that. The post process get triggered. Let's go to schedule process, whether this data is pushing to your your general ledger or not, we will check it out. That is integration between the modules, that is your payables module integrating with your GL, that is integration testing, right? So that is a integration testing. So it gets completed. It's moving to your trial balance also, and it is creating a accounting execution report. Right, so let's go and view the create accounting execution report. Go to the republish, so you can go and view HTML. So various errors are there, right? So these errors has to be rectified. Let's view our entry that is related to IFRS ledger, right? So that is related to your IFRS, and some other related to US primary ledger, right? So that error has to be checked out. Let's check with our KMG 11, search with this. Here we are. So KMG, so we are with the KMG out here. The invoice is validated out here, so you can see this number has been posted to US primary ledger. If you see this particular ledger, this ledger has been posted, right? So if you see, this is the entry get posted out here. Let's go and review in the general ledger now. Go to the general ledger, go to the general ledger, go to the journals, or you can go from here, manage journals. Go to the manage journals, and sources payables. Search that. Let me search with so you can see out here. Let me search with that date. Let me check with this. This is related to let me check with that. Let me go to my subledger, review subledger journals. If I go to the subledger journals out here, the date, right? So that select the date, that is 9th, and select the 9th. Select the ledger, that is US primary ledger, that is US primary ledger. Different ledgers are attached to this particular, and source. Select your source, select your source out here, search out here. Some issues are coming. Let me search with the ledger equals to journal source, select that, US primary ledger, select the source, journal source as payables, and select the date between today's date, search it down. So this is the we have created. So this is the transaction number, right? So if you see out here, so view transaction, so you can view the transaction out here, right? So that kind of a, so let's go with the if I go to the trial, go to the schedule process, you can view the trial also. Trial balance report, say OK, say US ledger, select total, so you can provide, so this is the period, accounting period is my March period, PTD balance, provide the filtration, so first I am selecting the company, that is 101, then add multiple companies you can add, say OK, and go with the natural account, submit that, refresh that, let's review with the output. Go to HTML, so that is the computer expenses, right? Computer and software expenses. Here we are. So this is the expenses we entered on the this, it is coming out here, right? So that is out here, so it is impacting in our trial also, right? 1080 with the taxes, right? So that is the taxes out here. Okay, so thank you for joining this webinar.